Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video will show how to solve quadratic equation problems using factorization method. Previous video was about the procedure for factorizing quadratic equation. Link to the previous video that taught about the procedure for factorizing quadratic equation will be dropped on the description section of this video. Please do wait to watch the previous video for better clarity. It's already established that we have 4 methods of solving quadratic equation. The first method is factorization, completing the square method, quadratic formula, also called the almighty formula, or we'll call it general formula, and lastly the graphical method. This video will concentrate on how to solve quadratic equation problems using factorization method. Previous video also established the fact that the general for quadratic equation is ax² plus bx plus c equals 0. We've been asked to solve each of the following quadratic equations by factorization. Before we proceed guys, if you are new in this channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thank you. Remember, we did say that the general expression for quadratic equation is ax² plus bx plus c equals 0. First step is to identify a, b, and c in this equation. Following the general, the coefficient of x squared is a, so our a in the given equation is 3. The coefficient of x is b. In our equation, the coefficient of x is 14, so b is 14. C here being the constant is 16. So we've identified a, b, and c. Next is to multiply a and c. Our a value is 3 and our c value is 16. So we're expected to multiply 3 by 16. So multiplying a and c gives ac, that is multiplying 3 by 16, which gives 48. Next is to find the numbers that multiply to give 48 and add up to give 14, being the value of b. The numbers are 6 and 8, since 6 times 8 will give 48, and 6 plus 8 gives 14, being the value of b. Let's rewrite the quadratic equation by splitting the middle terms. So we've rewrote the quadratic equation by splitting the middle term. The middle term is 14, and we did say 6 plus 8 gave 14. So in place of 14x, we'll write 6x plus 8x and then plus 16 equals 0. Group the terms, that is bringing these two together. Also bring these two together and equate to 0. 3x is common between this pair, and by the time we remove 3x, here we are left with x, because 3x times s gives 3s squared, plus when we remove 3x from here, we are left with 2. 3x times 2 gives 6x. On the other hand, 8 is common between this pair. When we remove 8 from here, we are left with x, plus when we remove 8 from 16, we are left with 2, because 8 times 2 gives 16 equal to 0. Now let's factor out common binomial. Bringing 3x plus 8 together, here we could see x plus 2 and x plus 2, so we take 1 and equal to 0. Now let's solve for x by equating each of these to 0. This means that we equate 3x plus 8 to 0, also equate x plus 2 to 0, and then solve for x. So we have 3x. When plus 8 crosses the equal sign, becomes minus 8. So x equal minus 8 over 3. On the other hand, solving for x in this group, x value will be equal to, when plus 2 crosses the equal sign, becomes minus 2. So the solutions are x equal minus 8 over 3 or x equal minus 2. Now let's answer question number 2. Let's identify a, b, and c. Our a is 2, b is 7, and c is 3. Let's multiply a and c. The multiplication of a being 2 by c being 3 gives 6. Find the two numbers that multiply to give 6, but when added, it gives 7. Those numbers are 6 and 1, because when you multiply 6 by 1, it gives 6, and when you add 6 and 1, it gives 7, being the value of b. Let's rewrite this quadratic equation by splitting the middle term. So we have 2x squared plus, in place of 7x, remember we did say the number that has to give 7 being 6 plus 1. So we'll write 6x plus 1x plus 3 equal to 0. Now let's group the terms, bringing this together and bringing these two together and then equating to 0. Now let's factor each group. Common factor between these two is 2x, such that remaining variable here is x, because 2x times x gives 2x squared, plus we have 2x here. Multiplying 2x by 3 gives 6x. Between these two, the common factor here is 1. Since we already removed 1 here, we are left with x plus 3, because 3 times 1 gives 3 equal to 0. Now let's factor out the common binomial. So here we have 2x plus 1, and then we have x plus 3, x plus 3. So we pick 1 and then equate to 0. Now let's solve for x by equating each of these to 0. So we equate 2x plus 1 to 0. Also equate x plus 3 to 0. Trying to solve for x, we have 2x equal, taking plus 1 to the right hand side becomes minus 1, such that x is equal to minus 1 over 2. On the other hand, solving for x on this part, we have x equal to, taking plus 3 to the right hand side becomes minus 3. So the solutions for x are either x equal minus 1 over 2 or x equal minus 3. Let's answer question number 3. Our a here is 1 because the coefficient of x squared is 1, b is minus 9, and c is 18. Now we'll multiply a by c, which is 1 times 18, which gives 18. Now let's find the number that multiplies to give 18 and add up to give minus 9. Those numbers are minus 3 and minus 6. Of course, when you multiply minus 3 by minus 6, it gives positive 18. When you add minus 3 and minus 6, it gives minus 9. Now let's rewrite the quadratic equation by splitting the middle term. X squared, since minus 3 and minus 6 gave minus 9. So in place of minus 9x, we'll write minus 3x minus 6x, then plus 18 equal to 0. Now let's group the terms. X squared minus 3x plus minus 6x plus 18 equal to 0. Factor each group. Factoring each of the groups, the common factor between these two is x. So when we remove all x here, we are left with x, because x times x gives x squared, minus, when we remove x here, we are left with minus 3. The common factor between these two is minus 6. When we remove minus 6 here, we are left with x minus 3, because minus 6 times minus 3 gives plus 18 equal to 0. Let's factor out the common binomial. So bringing x and minus 6 together and picking one of these as their common equal to 0. Let's equate each of these to 0. So either x minus 6 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0, such that x will be equal to, when you take minus 6 to the right hand side, becomes positive 6, or x will be equal to, when you take minus 3 to the right hand side, becomes positive 3. So the solutions for these equations are either x equal to 6 or x equal to 3. Before we answer question number 4, if you are getting value from this video, please do well to like, leave a positive comment, share this video, and in case you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thank you. Let's identify a, b, and c. A is 3, b is minus 2, and c is minus 8. Multiplying a by c, that is 3 times minus 8 gives minus 24. Let's find two numbers that multiplies to give minus 24 and add up to give minus 2. Those numbers are minus 6 and 4. When you multiply minus 6 by 4, it gives minus 24. When you add minus 6 to 4, it gives minus 2. Now let's rewrite this quadratic equation by splitting this middle term. So the equation changes to 3x squared minus 6x plus 4x minus 8 equal to 0. Now let's group the term. We'll group these two together and also group these two together and equate to 0. Factor each group. The common factor between these two is 3x. And when we remove 3x from here, we are left with x, because 3x times x, 3x squared. When we remove 3x from here, we are left with minus 2, because 3x times minus 2 gives minus 6x. The common factor here is 4. When we remove 4 from here, we are left with x, and then minus. When we remove 4 here, we are left with minus 2, because 4 times minus 2 gives minus 8, equal to 0. Let's factor out the common binomial. So we have 3x here plus 4 and x 2 equal to 0. Solve for x in each of these groups. Solving for x in each of these groups, we have 3x plus 4 equal to 0, such that 3x will be equal to, when plus 4 crosses the equal sign, becomes minus 4. X will be equal to minus 4 over 3, or x minus 2 equals 0, such that x will be equal, when minus 2 crosses the equal sign, becomes positive 2. So the x values for this equation is either minus 4 over 3 or 2. If you got value from this video, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Also, do well to share this video with anyone who might find it useful. Comment with any question or topic you would want us to cover in future videos. Please be on the lookout for the next video, where we demonstrate how to solve quadratic equation using completing the square method. Thanks so much for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.